Hello and welcome to the Arsenal BiteSize Podcast. I'm your host Clayton at Clayton's AFC, who just forgot to press the go live button in time. In case you're wondering why Nima and I are laughing. How you doing, Nima?
Yeah, good. Nice international break. Good to be back with you, buddy. Excited for the Brentford game. I think there's some decent fixtures ahead for Arsenal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to today and previewing that match. How
Nice
about you,
one. And
buddy?
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's not just been a normal international break for you. Congratulations are in order. Uh, for those that are listening that don't know, Nima obviously has another podcast that he runs called Net That Hall with Gabe and Mariner. And go on, tell us what you achieved, because there is a thumbnail, a very poorly
Yeah, no,
put
I saw
together
you use the
thumbnail from
gold
me, but
winner image.
I
I
had to,
love that.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
go on,
love
yeah.
that. Thanks for
Congratulations, but
the
tell the listeners a bit
yeah,
about what it was.
yeah, thanks for the recognition and the shout out. Yeah, so it was a bit of a surreal moment. We were in Anfield Stadium last week actually for the awards ceremony for the Football Content Awards, and it was the third year in a row that we've kind of made it as finalists in the best of fantasy football category. But we've never had a podium finish. We've never even got a bronze. And my kind of ultimate goal was let's just get a bronze certificate, the papers in a little frame, take it home, put it on a wall somewhere. Before I know it, I'm getting called up to go for best in fantasy podcast to get the
That's
gold on
mad.
stage. Yeah, so I
For
couldn't
people on the
believe it. And then,
podcast, he's just pulled up the actual award. It looks sick.
yeah, so I got this nice glass trophy, and then I had to like give I guess, an acceptance speech in front of like 500 people with zero prep for it. And yeah, it was all a bit crazy. So it was very surreal, really proud to win the gold and take that home. And yeah, lots of obviously great FPL content creators were there who, I don't know how we beat them, but, 3 years of non-stop hard work, and we're just so pleased. So yeah,
Yeah, well done, man.
I'm very Arsenal biased on there, by the way. So I think like the fans know, like whenever we get to the Arsenal matchup each week, I'm not having no Arsenal slander. I don't care what the data says. The data's wrong. I'm like, the data's wrong. Fuck it. We're the best team.
No, well done. It's yeah. I don't know if we actually said this, what the actual award was, but for the category, it was Best in Fantasy Football Podcast. So absolutely phenomenal considering the sort of creators that are in that space as well. So like, well deserved, and yeah, had to be recognised on here.
Thank you. And obviously, our friends who we went on their show when we did the Arsenal bite-sized crossover with Above Average to preview the North London derby last season. They also managed to get in a bronze win as well. So in the same
Nice.
category, Best Fantasy Football Pod. So it was really nice to kind of have that moment to celebrate with them, knowing that me and you obviously went on their show. And this preseason, I did the episode with Adam about Arsenal season ahead. So it's nice to see people that we've collabed with on this channel also doing well at the awards. So really proud of the boys there,
Yeah.
Adam and Baker.
That's all. No, well done, man. But well deserved. And yeah, from flying high in Anfield to slumming it with me on a Friday. So we're doing the Brentford preview. So back to reality. So yeah, international break's done. Don't know about you, but I am very happy it's done. Just I hate it so much. And yeah, I was actually missing football so much that I went and watched like the seventh or eighth tier of English football. I went to watch St. Pantilimons against Bed Belmont FC or something. In the I don't even know what trophy it was, but yeah, I needed my football fix over the international break. So glad that the Arsenal's back. So going through what we usually do, so we'll go through predicted lineups and then score predictions, and if there's any questions, depending on time, we'll see if we can squeeze a couple in. But it looks like it's quite quiet this morning. So obviously before we went into the international break, it was 3-1 win against Burnley, and reviewed that game with Pontus. That was great to have him on. Obviously, he's been one of our like longest and most consistent listeners and always engages. So yeah, it was really nice to actually meet him as well. I've never actually like met him, even though it was on camera. But yeah, so Brentford, uh, I've put lineup versus Brentford. I meant lineup versus Burnley on there on the slide, but
Oh,
the
this was
lineup
the
versus
last. Yeah, this was the
yeah,
last fixture, right? Yeah.
the graphic that I've got on the screen is the lineup versus Burnley, and it was obviously David Raya in goal. Ben White mysteriously wasn't in the team. So it was Tomiyasu at right back, Saliba who scored, Gabriel and Zinchenko who scored. So 2 goals from defenders. Midfield 3 was Jorginho, Rice, and Havertz, and then the front 3 was Saka, Trossard, and Martinelli, and obviously Trossard got his goal as well. I guess Arteta has done his presser. I've been quite busy with work this morning, so I've not actually looked in terms of injury updates. I don't know if you've. I saw Odegaard's back and he's fit, but I don't know if you've
Yeah,
seen any.
Odegaard. So before today, I'd seen Odegaard did full team training the last 2 days. So today would be the third day, I guess, and he also is past to play. He said Jesus is available, but obviously he played quite long minutes in that Brazil start midweek. So I don't know if maybe Trossard still gets to start through the middle this week or something. But the other one was Ben White. He actually said that like he'll see if he makes training today. So that's not
Okay.
as certain, it sounds like.
So
So there is a
that
world in which
insinuates
maybe
he's
Ben
not
White
been
isn't
training.
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the wording I took from it. Let me find the exact words for the podcast listeners so that it's at least in Arteta's own words rather than my kind of verbatim. So what do we have? So Mikel Arteta confirms in his pre-match press conference that Martin Odegaard and Gabriel Jesus are both available. He's also hopeful that Ben White will train today and be available for tomorrow. So
Okay.
he's hopeful. That's a bit more promising than it sounds.
Yeah. Sure.
When I
Okay.
first said it, yeah, like he's still pretty hopeful about it. He's going to train
So
today and be available. But Odegaard and Jesus, they're definitely both available.
with that in mind, do you want to have a obviously, it's worth knowing David Raya is ineligible to play tomorrow, so Ramsdale will be in the sticks. With that in mind, do you want to have a stab at your predicted 11? I'm interested to see if you think White will go straight back in or be saved for Wednesday. Lons at home, and then who have we got next week? Wolves at home, then, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got some decent Premier League fixtures coming up until obviously it's game week 13 now, but in game week 18 we're away at Anfield. Until then, I think we've got some fixtures that we would be hoping to try and get maximum points if possible. Obviously, Brentford away is not easy, I get that, but overall, it's quite a nice run of fixtures after quite a few hard ones we faced at the start of the season. We need this period. So my prediction would be obviously Ramsdale and goal, as you say. See, Raya is obviously ineligible. I think it will be a backline of Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White, actually.
Yeah, you think he'll go there?
I think it will be, and then I think the midfield will be Jorginho, Rice, and Havertz again. I think.
Yep.
And then I
No
think the
Odegaard,
front line. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay, damn. Yeah, I feel like Rice and Jorginho will always play now, so I think it's going to be Rice, Jorginho, and Odegaard, and I think Havertz will miss out.
Interesting.
And then I think it's going to be Martinelli. I want it to be Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka, but it would not shock me if it's Martinelli, Trossard, and Saka.
Yeah. Is Nketiah
Did you see Trossard, by the way? Yeah,
Oh,
Nketiah,
that
did you see
little
that thing?
flick, isn't
Did
it?
you see that little when he jumped over with the
Yeah.
ball? That was an incredible. If you've not seen that, guys, go check it out. And then obviously Havertz has been playing left back, and he scored 5 minutes into his debut as a left back for Germany. So I wonder if Arteta, do you think he's going to go like full on Pep brain here and like you just see like a backline of Havertz, Gabriel, Saliba?
Nah, I saw loads of people talking about that, and James from Planet FPL and I actually watched the first half of Havertz at left back, and he was literally playing as like a wing back in a back five.
I was going to say he's not really actually defending, is he? He's like pretty
No,
much playing
he
off the
was.
pitch, or was he defending as well?
Yeah, there were times out of possession where he was the left back in a back four, and times in possession when he
Damn.
was like a traditional wing back on the left, and Leroy Sané was a wing back on the right, and Havertz defensively was actually good. And like he didn't do anything groundbreaking going forward. But like whereas Sané was obviously a lot more higher average position wise, but defensively, like the 2 goals we watched in the Turkey game both came from Sané's side. But yeah, Havertz, he was, because I saw everyone saying about left back, and I was like, oh, is he inverting? Is he playing like Pedro
like what is he
Porro going
doing?
into
Yeah.
But it was literally like
like a
traditional
proper
wing
wing backs. Wow.
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think he's So is this like something we just didn't see? Because obviously you remember when Xhaka used to play left back. Is he just is Havertz? Is he more of a Xhaka replacement than we realized?
Maybe. I don't think we'll see it in our team. I think, I
don't
don't
think we'll
think
see
we'll
it.
see it in ours. But I'm
But is there
curious on
anyone
the.
different? Do you disagree on the Jorginho Rice thing? So that was something I wanted to call up and see what your thoughts were, because I feel that. Do you remember in the preseason when we got Rice, and at the time the quote when Partey was fit was that Arteta was like, "I now have 3 like great sixes. I have Jorginho, Rice, Partey. I have to figure out how to fit them all in." So like I remember saying at the time that it felt like at least 2 of those 3 would always play if possible.
Yeah.
So with Partey out, it feels like while Odegaard's been away, Jorginho's been the guy on the field giving out Arteta's instructions. He's been the in-game coach. So I think if you forget about just his performances and what he does on the pitch, he's been the voice of Arteta to the players in game.
Yeah.
So does that change with Odegaard's return?
I,
Or like, yeah, because
yes,
I don't
I
feel
think.
Havertz has done enough to like take that spot from Jorginho, like from a leadership point of view. But I'd love to
No,
hear your thoughts.
yeah, I agree with you. I I think it will change in the sense that Jorginho won't be the one relaying the instructions if Odegaard's on the pitch, but it doesn't mean you can only have one person doing that. I think yeah, you can have a few people doing that, right? And Arteta spoke previously about having on-field coaches, and Jorginho happens to be one. I can't make up my mind on it. Obviously, by the end of this sentence, I'll come to a conclusion, but I can't work out if he's going to go for a Jorginho, Rice, Odegaard, or Rice, Odegaard, Havertz, and it's more thinking Brentford away. Like, well, this is just universal in how we play now. He just wants control, right? And
Mm,
part of me is thinking, looking at the upcoming block, Lens at home on Wednesday is probably one of the easier fixtures this week. And I wonder if he's going to go with the Rice, Jorginho, Odegaard midfield for Brentford away, where you get the combination of the physicality and the control and the physicality and control. And then Lens at home is one where you can afford to maybe play Rice in the six, who can be on an island on his own, and then have Odegaard and Havertz as the 2/8s. So with that in mind, I
mm,
think the only thing no, actually, I agree with everything. I think it will be Ramsdale. I think White will come back in. I think if it wasn't Brentford away, which is a tough place, even though we've done well there, I think Tomiyasu may have got the nod and just ease White back in. But I think he will go full strength, which I think will be Ramsdale in goal, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, same midfield three as you, and Jorginho, Rice, and Odegaard. And I think it's going to be Saka, Trossard, and Martinelli as well, saving Jesus.
mm. So that's really interesting because it's like in previous seasons, right, where we missed out on top four, we missed out on the title. The injuries kind of meant that we just couldn't sustain what we were doing in both those seasons. This year, we're there 1 point from top, despite not playing with like our
I
first
know.
choice most of the season, and
Yeah.
like we're in a situation where we can actually away at Brentford, such a tough game, we can still be saying, you know what, we don't need to rush Jesus back. And that's
Yeah.
crazy because when you think about it, like it's just yeah, it's not a situation we've seen for the last 2 years. So thank God that we have a bit more depth and can still compete. Despite that, defensively, I do think we are one of the top two teams in the country right now by far.
Yeah.
So that's without saying. And based on what you said about wanting to control games, I would like to see more attack and fluidity. I think that will come. I think obviously we've been missing Odegaard and Jesus these last few games. So with the return of both of them to fitness, I'm hoping that this is the turnaround for us that we need. Like little,
Yeah.
and no more international breaks every 3 or 4 games to
Yeah.
disrupt
Literally.
momentum.
Do
That's the
you think
main thing.
there's
That's been just really frustrating. Like just every time we get into a rhythm, it's like bang, another break. Like we beat City, break for 2 weeks.
yeah,
Like what the
literally.
fuck? Like that's so
Yeah, it's a
annoying.
momentum killer, isn't it? But we're doing well. We're doing like for where we are, we're doing absolutely brilliant. And got a couple of the guys in the chat which I'll shout out in a second. But just one more on that. With what I said about Lens at home being on paper one of the easier fixtures this week, do you think there's an element of Arteta maybe thinking, okay, Jesus away at Brentford and then giving a breather against Lens at
Oh,
home?
that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. It could be. Um, I'm just thinking Martinelli started as well. I think he started both games for Brazil actually. So maybe Trossard could play for Martinelli on the left wing, and Martinelli misses out, and Jesus starts. I just don't see both Jesus and Martinelli starting. That's
No.
kind of where my head's at. So I feel like one of the two will miss out, and
Yeah.
Trossard is probably like our kind of first sub on most games where
Yeah.
you need to win. So I feel like if he's got the chance to start, then this is it. But midweek, I don't know what I expect midweek, but obviously we want to top the group and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think he'll still go stronger than people expect, but maybe one of the centre backs gets rested again.
Yeah, like I completely agree. I think what is it? If we get a point, we're through, and if we win, we top the group, right? And I actually got my ticket for PSV away as well. So
Oh, nice. So
yeah,
you're gonna go
buzzing with that.
to Netherlands for that. Nice.
Yeah, so going to Amsterdam and Eindhoven for the game. But yeah, so with that in mind, let's lock in our predictions for the stream anyway. Obviously, we do separate ones elsewhere, but are you sticking with the front three of Martinelli, Trossard, Saka? I think I am.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
All right. So we'll
yeah, yeah.
just in a sec.
We agreement on that.
Sure. All right. I'll have a look at the previous Brentford lineup against Liverpool, who they played last. But before we look at that, he's not live in the show, but we had Bungle that jumped on to say yes, lads, and he also said congrats Nima on the award for Net That Hole. Hard for me to catch live streams these days with the time zone, but always remember the good old days, especially Mariners 5 a.m. starts now and again. So, yeah, nice one, Bungle.
Those were some crazy times. 5 a.m. starts. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Like 11 p.m. for me, 5 a.m. for him. There were some
nuts. And
wild
then you got
years that we got through to get here.
Yeah, and then you got people like Bungle in flipping Japan who tunes in as well. So yeah, fair play, mate. Cheers for jumping in and
Thank you,
commenting as
Bungle.
always. And we got our boy Scott, Dream Team Professor, morning, afternoon, all. Congrats, Nima, from Scott as well.
Thank you so much, mate. Yeah, no, it's been a surreal couple of weeks, but yeah, I'm just excited now for the festive fixture congestion and just
Yeah,
lots of football. And it just, I feel like this is it. This is going to be my favorite time of the year for football and,
yeah, same.
holidays and family and just, it is such a great time of the year, man,
Yeah,
honestly.
and like you said, it's a decent opportunity for us to put some points on the board consistently again. So yeah, first up is at Brentford. Obviously, we've given our predicted lineups. They lost 3-0 to Liverpool last time out, and their team for that was Flecken, back five of Aja, Collins, Pinnock, me, and Roeslev. Midfield three of Norgard, Jensen, and Janelt. And then up top it was Visser and Mbumo. Um, yeah, and obviously they tend to fluctuate and switch between the back four and the back five. I think with us, they'll probably go for that same system again. I can't confess to have paid too much attention to individual personnel to know if there'll be mass changes or not. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, so I think this is very likely to be kind of pretty much the team that comes out against us. I'm worried about Pinnock against us on set pieces as a way for them to get goals. I do feel that he's a real threat versus us. What I do like though in this matchup is I think Saka on the right against Royce on their left. I think he's gonna toast him. Like I just feel
Yeah,
that like he is
yeah.
gonna be at him all game. So that's where I see their biggest weakness personally, like
They'll
down that
probably look to
side.
double and triple up then, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're going to be seeing like me there helping him, maybe Yanel stepping back. Like they're all, and if that happens, then hopefully Martinelli's got free reign on the other side, and we just
Yeah,
switch it. So I don't think they've got like I think it will be a tough game, right? Ultimately, but I'll talk about my score prediction when we get to there. But
sure.
from a lineup point of view, I think this is pretty much likely to be the lineup. Yeah, I'm kind of sure we can win this. I'm sure we can win this. Famous last words, but yeah, Brentford are not a joke team. They know how to play against the top teams well, and I actually think that under Arteta we have not won as many games as they have against us. So they are
Yeah.
like a bit of a bogey team for us since Arteta took over.
I know what you mean, but then it was that performance last season that just sticks in my head where we just
At their
went there
stadium, right?
and we completely controlled the whole game. They couldn't get a touch on the ball. I remember Odegaard was out that game. Vieira stepped in, scored a banger. So yeah, I hope it's a repeat of that performance. And with us this season, like we're not the best on the eye offensively, but that level of control and the way we nullify the ability for teams to counter and create transitions is really, really good. So hopefully that leads to us controlling the game and winning, but that leads nicely into score predictions. So I've kind of hinted with where I think the game will go. I do think we will control it pretty nicely. I don't think Brentford will have too many passages of play where they're knocking the ball around us. I think this is a game where like the Phil Till FC numbers are going to be high. I think we'll have a lot of the ball possession wise. Like Scott's just said in the chat, Dream Team Professor, he's hoping it'll be a nice kickabout with the lads, like
Yeah,
Ivan
definitely.
Toney once famously said. And with that in mind, I think I'm going to go for a fairly comfortable 2-0 away win, 2-0 to the Arsenal. I think we'll score. It won't be like free flowing chances. I think we'll get two clinical moments and then just control and suffocate the life out of them. I think it'll be quite a boring game, actually. 2-0 to the Arsenal. What about you?
So I'm gonna go with I think 2-1. I think two
Okay.
one win, just about win. Yeah. We are great defensively and away. away from home as well. We barely conceded. I think we conceded like 2 or 3 goals in 6 away games, and one of them was obviously the Newcastle goal. One was at I think the other 2 were at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
So all 3 goals were like in those 2 games out of 6. So we are very good, but I just something screams to me that like they're gonna just get like a goal in the 93rd
Like
minute,
the Burnley-esque goal.
Yeah, just some random goal in the 93rd minute. But I think 2-1, and I think it will be comfortable for us. So yeah, I don't think it's like 2-1 and edgy. I think we'll keep it together. We'll be solid.
As long as it's 3 points, that's all that matters. That's all we need to be doing now.
That's the thing. That's especially with City playing Liverpool. I don't know what we really want in that game. I think you'd argue that we'd want a draw. No, I know we want City to lose, but a draw is better, right? Because surely Liverpool are a real threat to us this year as well. It's not just us as City.
Yeah, I think so. I think Liverpool are definitely up there. So I think a draw would be best. That'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to watching.
If they draw and we can win our game on the same day and go top of the table, and then just like have that momentum for the ties to come. Like, I don't want to dream, right? I've been hurt too many times before by our beloved Gunners, but I'm gonna try and dream. And just before we go, I just want to show you this. When we were at the Football Content Awards, they were giving out these Panini cards, like player cards, and I was trading with someone who had loads of West Ham players. Well, I had the West Ham players, and I traded for a shiny Zinchenko. So got him on the screen there.
I feel like you're talking to 14-year-old me again. I used to love this shit.
Yeah, and then I managed to trade a West Ham Declan Rice for a Arsenal Gabriel Martinelli. So yeah, I was very happy with that. I've got a shiny Dominic Solanke and stuff, but you know, it was we were all like sitting on this table like children ripping open these Panini packs, like trying to see which Premier League player we got. It was pretty silly and fun, but yeah,
that's nice. It's good to be a big kid again. Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so yeah, everyone, thanks for joining. Sorry, we're in the middle of the work day, so we've got work commitments that we have to attend to. So nice 20-minute episode. Obviously, congratulations again to you, Nima, on the amazing award for Net That Hall. So yeah, like if you're joining live towards the end, go back and we've touched on the predicted lineups, how we think Brentford will line up, bit about the matchups that we're expecting, and score predictions. So. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button and drop us a subscribe so that you don't miss future episodes. It really helps us out as well. Yeah, big game tomorrow. Get those 3 points on the board. On to Lens on Wednesday, then to Wolves next Saturday. And let's just try put a nice little run together for this festive period. Up the Arsenal. Cheers, everyone.
Come on, you Gunners.